If your ex does what I'm going to explain in this video, it means that you will never get back with him or her. It means that you have to stop trying to fight to get back to that relationship. It means you have to start moving on and start that grieving process. And I'm doing this video because I see almost on a daily basis people who are stuck, people who are struggling to grieve their breakups, and they have this fantasy that they can recover from that breakup. And as you know, I'm kind of I don't know if I'm the only one, but I'm kind of the only coach out there, the only counselor out there specialized in breakups, who are actually telling people when I feel they should stop trying to fight for their ex. So rather than telling you fantasy and there's going to be neuroscience stuff or manifestation about how you can get back your ex, I'm very factual. And what we're going to cover today is really about facts and things that actually, if you think about it, if you look at that situation from maybe another point of view, because you are obviously biased by your situation, you'll find that actually it's time for you to move on. And you'll thank me for this video. It's very important to thank me and like the video if you liked it. Jingle.
IGetMyExBack.com. Everyone deserves a second chance.
So first of all, my job. What is my job? It's obviously the best job in the world. But what I do in my job is I use different elements of your situation. And my job is to show your ex that they made a mistake, right? And so I would use your history, your psychology, their psychology, the attachment style, all these elements, all these data points that I would use. Then it's all about the communication aspect. So how we can convey the idea to your ex, how we can explain them that you can create a secured relationship with them. And then it's really about the goals, how you can align your vision, what you're doing, your behavior to theirs. And so what I do is I assess over time. We have a plan, and when we implement the plan, it's really about assessing every day. So obviously we create the plan together and we apply the plan. It's not apply, we implement the plan together, right? That's my job, and that's what we're going to do today. We're going to look, using this sort of methodology, if actually your ex is doing something telling you it's over. One thing before I move to the next slide is to remind you that I put together a quiz for you to know if you have any chance to get back with your ex. And the idea of this quiz is obviously to give you an indication of how likely you are to get back with your ex. And also, and more importantly, is to really rule out whether you should stop trying to fight for your ex. As you know, I select my clients because I want to add value. I want to help people out. And when I feel that actually the situation is way more complicated, that the situation is actually there's only 3% chance for you to get back together, I'd rather not have those clients. I'd rather tell those clients, I'm happy to help you grieve your relationship, but I won't help you get back with your ex, because you shouldn't spend your time and waste your time doing that. I'm losing a lot of business doing that, but that's how I am. So when to assess this? After breakup, there's a phase that I call the release phase of about 2 to 7 days. And that release phase is really a phase where your ex wants to enjoy the breakup. They had weeks of reflection. It was really hard for them to tell you they wanted to break up, and so they just don't want to deal with that for a week at least. They just want to enjoy their time. Okay. Then there's another phase of what we can call stabilization, a phase where you should be doing no contact, and actually the sooner you start no contact, the better. And it's the phase where actually they'll start living the life as a single person, and this is when they'll start reflecting on your relationship. Okay, what we'll have to do is to analyze any signs we see from our ex during this phase. And obviously towards the end, that's actually the best moment to analyze those signs, because they will reflect their state of mind and whether they have any emotional connection with you. It's exactly what we're going to assess. And actually the formula is very simple. If there is emotional connection, if there is emotion, If you perceive emotions in your ex, that's a good sign. If, however, it's very neutral, there's no emotion, there's nothing, the pulse is nil, it's really bad. Okay, because what we have to do when we work in relationship recovery is to really use that emotional connection that you've built through months and years together. And we can use that. That's sort of your lifeline. If that emotional connection is not there, it's impossible to get back with an ex. First one, they erase your memories. Social media pictures. They throw away your stuff. You can also see that they stop communicating with your common friends. They sort of really make a clear cut between your history and where they are now. That's a strong sign that actually they want actively to move on. They want to forget you. Second thing is they are neutral. As I discussed, it's really the worst thing you could see from an ex. Maybe they used to be angry and sad towards at the breakup, because there's a lot of emotions during a breakup. Now nothing. The opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference. It's from Elie Wiesel. Indifference is your worst enemy. If your ex is shouting at you, yelling at you, it's actually really good. Because love and hate are kind of the two faces of the same coin, right? So a strong sign of no emotional connection anymore is when they are neutral. That's really bad for you. Another kind of sign is they don't play games. I don't like to play games. I don't ask my client to play games. But you see that sometimes people, after a breakup, they'll try to make you jealous. There's no hate, actually. Nothing that will make you react. Maybe they tease you. They tell you something about, I don't know, your mother, just to make you react. But your ex seems like, okay, balanced in a way. They're happy with their life. They don't need to make you jealous. Maybe they are dating someone, but they don't brag about it. Maybe they're doing stuff. I don't know. They're going on holidays, but they don't necessarily need to brag about it. They're happy with their life as it is, and that's a really bad sign for you. Another one is that they have no rebound. So it's interesting because you're going to think like, actually, that's the worst thing I want is them to have a rebound. I'll explain you why. People seek rebound relations because they need to cope with that emotional pain of breakup, right? And as we discussed, emotion is good whether it's bad or strong, negative or positive emotions. And so when someone feels like, it's too hard for me and I need someone to boost my self-esteem, to boost my ego, to feel more confident, it's because they want to cope with that pain, okay? If they're not dating anyone and they seem happy, it means that they can be happy alone. And the problem with that is that they will also take time to reconsider their future relationship. And actually they'll be more balanced instead of being frenetic at, I need to find someone because I need to cope with that. They'll be, okay, I'm enjoying my time as a single person. I'm reflecting. I'm assessing what went wrong. I'm assessing what I want in the future. And therefore the next person I'll be dating, be more convinced that he or she is the one, and I'll be ready to invest emotionally in that person. Now the good thing is that person could be you, right? If you do the right things, but it's a sign that actually, if they're not dating a rebound and they stay single for a few months, 3-6 months, it means that the next person they'll be with will be a strong relationship. So that's really, really bad sign for you. Number 5, they feel their true selves again. So maybe in the relationship had a negative impact. Maybe it prevented them from being who they were. Maybe they felt they were in prison in that relationship. Maybe, I don't know, they had to go every Sunday to your parents and have lunch. They hated it. Or maybe they couldn't do their best hobby, their passion. Maybe that relationship was too much to invest, asking them too much investment in terms of times, and they, or you didn't like their hobby or whatever. Maybe they couldn't see their friends, and now they feel at ease. They feel happier because they are able to be their true self, to do whatever they like, or to do what they like, what they love, to see their friends. One thing, however, if you see them completely drunk every night of the week after the breakup, it's actually a good sign, because similar to the rebound, people who are getting drunk, and I'm not saying you could get drunk and have fun, but if you are getting drunk consistently, it's because you want to cope with that pain of the breakup. And therefore there's emotion. If there's emotion, we can work with that. Conclusion, and after I'm going to do the bad signs, so bear with me. Conclusion, the good signs. If there are emotions, bad behavior, you'll see maybe yelling at you, maybe trying to tease you, when they seem lost, when you see jealousy, rebound, it's really about the emotions again. Being with you makes them, they feel confused. So I have a lot of my current clients, you can clearly see the ex has still strong feelings for them because they're really confused. They love to send messages, but they're not ready to commit. So our job is to really ensure that weeks in and weeks out, we raise their confidence in their ability to be in a committed relationship. In that case, I'm taking the example of a client of mine who has a dismissive avoidant boyfriend, but it's really about how we can use that emotional connection that you have. If you don't have that, even if it's a tiny thread of connection, of emotional connection that you have together, we can work on that. Okay, that's why it's important as well to take the quiz, because I can also assess in the quiz how strong your relationship was. So if you have that emotional thread, there's actually the outcome or result of those strong foundation, those years of relationships. Then we can work on that. Before the bad signs, because I always forget to say that, please subscribe to the channel if you want to watch more videos. It does help me a lot as well if you like the video. It helps me to understand actually if you like this content. If you didn't like it, press on the thumb down button as well. Let's move on to the last slide, the bad signs. The bad signs is that they seem at peace. There's no problem in their life anymore. They have a new life, right? Your relationship is now in the past and they're only looking forward. For example, they don't see any of your mutual friends. They decided actively, I want to get rid of that aspect of my life. That's a strong sign that actually I'm done. No emotional connection anymore. This is the worst thing that could be happening for you right now. As I mentioned, hate is not the opposite of love, it's indifference. On those words, I leave you. Hopefully you didn't see most of those signs and you have a chance to get back with your ex. If you have any question, if you want to reach out, don't hesitate to give me a call or a WhatsApp, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
IGetMyExBack.com. Everyone deserves a second chance.